it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 4 of my 2025 Valentine Card Series. Today I'm going to be creating an all dies, no stamps shaker card using the Pretty Pink Posh Love Word Shaker. So I am going to take the larger connected part of the die and trim that out of some Lawn Fawn Barn Red cardstock. I'll use a little bit of post-it tape to hold that die in place, and then I'll run that through my die cutting machine, and when I pull that die off, it reveals this beautiful connected love word with that great stitching detail, which you could absolutely use on its own. But I want to create a shaker card today, so I'm going to set that aside for now, and we're going to come back to it. In the meantime, I'm also going to die cut this main part of the die out of some guava cardstock and some acetate. So I'll set those pieces aside as well, and we are done with that larger portion of the die, so I can pop that back on my magnetic sheet. Now we're going to come back to the red die cut, and I'm going to take the separated letters and I am going to cut a little window into each of the letters, and I'm just going to hold that in place with some more post-it tape. This is very easy to line up because the die fits just inside those stitching lines. And so even when you're mass producing, as I am today, because I'm going to show you in just a second why I needed multiple of these, it's still easy to get them all to line up because it's very clear where to place those dies. So I'm going to peel off the post-it tape and pop out all of the little letter inserts, which you could absolutely save for another project. I'm not going to use them on today's card, but maybe I'll use them for something in the future. We'll see. I ended up with quite a few of these because I needed multiples of these die cuts. So I'm just going to set them off in a little dish over on the side of my desk. But there is the piece that we're going to be using today. And here I will bring in all the other pieces that I die cut, except one. So I die cut 6 of these in total, and one I left off to the side. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but the other 5 I am going to glue together in a nice stack, and that is going to be my shaker element. So the other thing that you could do would be to cut down thin strips of foam tape, but because there are so many different turns and twists with the different letters all connected, I thought that that would be a bit more complicated, and that just die cutting this multiple times and gluing them together would make for an easier assembly. So I'm going to add a very thin bead of glue. I'm using my Barely Art Precision Craft Glue, which I love. And then I'll just stack the next one right on top. Make sure that those are adjusted so that they are lined up correctly. And then once I'm sure that they are, I will add more liquid glue. You're going to want to lay down as thin of a bead of glue as you possibly can, and that is so that you don't have any glue kind of splooge out to the center part, because it might gunk up your shaker and whatever material you're filling inside might get stuck. So if you have any extra glue, take the time to clean it up now while you can. And try to stick to the outer edge of the stitching detail if you can. I was going pretty fast because I was filming and I didn't want to take too long in the video to show you this process. So I was hurrying, but if I were not filming this, I would have taken my time and gone a little bit slower and really made sure that the glue stayed to the outside of that stitching line. But it ended up being absolutely fine. I didn't have any issues whatsoever, and that is because of another step that I will show you in just a minute. So we're down to our last layer, and I'm just going to finish adding that liquid glue and then line up that 5th die cut right on top. Once again, make sure that it is on there straight and that everything is lining up how I want it, because once that glue is dry, there's no shifting it, and it would be very hard to trim anything down at that point. So I want to take the time to make sure that everything is lined up and it looks like a nice stack. Then I'm going to take that guava die cut that we did earlier, and I will add another thin bead of glue to the back of the stack of hollow die cuts. And then I am going to line that up right over top. So the guava piece is going to end up being the back of our shaker mechanism. And you could use the same color cardstock if you wanted to. I just wanted the contrast with the pop of guava showing in the center of the red. I am going to hold that in place for a few seconds with my hands and make sure that that is stuck down. And then once again, take the time to clean up any little bits of glue that might be kind of seeping through the edges. And then I'm just going to double and triple check that everything is securely glued together, because I don't want my mechanism to fall apart once I have it all assembled and it's kind of too late to go back at that point. Then I'm going to grab a powder tool. This is one that I used to use for embossing. I really don't use it for that anymore. I've switched to one that I prefer, which is the Rabbit Hole Designs powder tool. But this EK Success one actually worked great for this because the smaller nib was able to get into all of the little nooks and crannies of the letters, even the E. So using a powder tool like that just helps prevent any static cling. And then I'm going to take the Pretty Pink Posh Love Shaker beads, and I'm going to pour some of these beads into each of the little wells that have been created by that die cut. So I'm going to add a few into each of the letters and then kind of assess and see if I want any more. I don't want to overfill it because I really want them to be able to move freely, but I definitely want there to be enough that it makes it nice and fun. Then I'm going to take the top layer of my shaker mechanism, and I have glued the piece of acetate to the back of that final 6th red love die cut. And I went ahead and did that off screen because I actually did it yesterday, because it does take a little bit of extra time for that glue to adhere to the acetate. And so I didn't want to have both layers needing drying time for the video. So I did the top layer adhering that acetate to the red frame last night. And now I am adhering the bottom of the acetate to the rest of the mechanism. And I am going to have to hold that for quite a bit. Eventually I did switch to some acrylic blocks and use those to hold that down in place and just make sure that that was drying securely. I let it go for about 5 to 10 minutes before I felt like it was secure enough that I could set that aside. And I'm going to move on to some decorations. So next I'm going to pull out the Valentine Holder Edition, and I'm going to go back to my scraps of guava and the Barn Red cardstock, and also bring in some ballet slippers. So the little flower die cut that I'm using actually fits right inside those little hearts. So if you ended up with a ton of extra die cut letters like I did, you can use those to trim out some little die cuts. I'm also going to take 2 shades of green and trim out the little leaves in the die set. And I'm going to do a whole bunch of those. Just set those off to the side for now. Then I'm going to take a piece of Bristol Smooth Surface cardstock, and I'm going to trim off the top and bottom edge with the doily borders. And I will just hold those in place with a little bit of Post-it tape. And do make sure that you are placing those borders in the correct direction, or you may end up with a little bit of a mistake. I'll go ahead and insert a clip of my first attempt here. I did the bottom border correctly, but I accidentally flipped the top border upside down, so I ended up cutting off the piece that I wanted to show. So here we go with the second attempt, and that time I had it lined up correctly. So even after 14 years of creating cards, you can still make dumb mistakes like that. It happens to everybody, even me. So anyway, I'm going to just trim off the little edges because there was like a little tiny piece hanging over, and I wanted that to be a little bit more rounded and finished looking. And then I'm going to pop this into my MISTI because I want to do some stenciling, and I keep my waffle flower grip mat in my MISTI, and so when I want to stencil, I just do it in my MISTI as well. And I'm going to use the Heart Sprinkles stencil. It's a 2-pack of stencils where you get the sprinkles and the hearts. I'm just going to use the hearts for today. And I'm lining that up just where I want it on this background. I wanted those hearts to go almost all the way to the edges, but I did not want them to go into the doily borders. So I just took my time lining that up where I wanted it, and then I'm going to blend on some spun sugar distress oxide ink and fill in each of those little hearts. And if there is one that is kind of overlapping the doily border, I just won't fill it in. So it was really easy to line up because these hearts are a little bit more spread apart. You could probably turn this stencil and do it again if you wanted to have more hearts on the background, but I wanted more of a subtle look. And then I'll just peel that stencil off to reveal the background, and I think that looks super sweet, really adorable. Peel that off and set that aside. Then I'll pop my card base in my MISTI. I'm using Lawn Fawn Ballet Slippers cardstock for my card base, and I'm going to stamp on the inside in bubblegum ink. I'm using the Happy Valentine's Day sentiment from the Valentine Greetings stamp set. I stamped that down a couple of times to make sure that it was nice and legible since this ink does dry back a bit. And then I took a tiny solid heart from that same stamp set, and I'm going to stamp that all around in some lobster ink so that we have a nice pop of that red that matches the outside. Now I'm ready to start assembling, and the first thing I'm going to do is take that stenciled background and glue that to my card front. I want there to be a pop of that pink cardstock showing through at both the top and bottom edge. And I did not glue down the edge of the bottom doily because I liked how that kind of lifts up a bit and creates a bit of a drop shadow. Then I'm going to take my shaker mechanism and place that in the center of the card. I'm not going to glue it down just yet because I need some things to be able to slip under the edge of that mechanism. I'm going to decorate the card with all of these little flower clusters. So I'm kind of arranging how I want those to go. And I'm going to have 2 that are kind of tucked under that bottom V, and then 1 that is going to sit on top. So I'm going to tuck a red one underneath, and I'm only placing my glue in the very center of that flower because I also want to be able to tuck some of the leaves under those in just a little bit. I'm not going to glue the flower that's going to go on top of the V just yet. Instead, I'm going to switch to working in that top right corner. And I'm going to take one of the guava flowers and glue that under the edge of the heart. And then I'll take a red one that is going to sit on top, but I won't glue that down just yet either. I'm going to start filling in some of my leaves, just adding a little bit of liquid glue to one end and then tucking those into place. And I'm also going to alternate between the 2 different greens. There's one that's a little bit lighter and one that's a little bit darker, and I want to kind of vary the shades. So I'm just going back and forth, kind of choosing which ones to use, and just kind of highlighting those flowers and helping them stand up a little bit more against that white background. I wanted to mention that you could also take your Distress Oxide inks or your Copics and add a little bit of color to the edges of these flowers, and that would also add a nice pop of color to them. But I just decided to keep it simple for this one today because we had so much going on with that shaker mechanism, which I am gluing down now. I just wanted the die cuts to be simple, and because I couldn't do any ink blending on the edges of the frame, because it was so thin, I just didn't think it would really show much. I decided not to do it on my flowers either so that everything matched. So once I have that shaker mechanism glued into place, I can go ahead and add the flower that is going to sit on top, and then I'll also add a few of the leaves around that. So some of the edges of the little shaker wells are going to be covered up by those flowers, but I liked the way that it looked sitting on top, and I figured that there is still plenty of room for you to see those little shaker beads in action, that I didn't mind just covering up a little corner of each of the, well, not letters, one's a heart and one's a V, but you know what I mean. So I'm going to take the guava flower and stick that down on the V at the bottom, and again add a few leaves. I was just checking to make sure that I still had enough of everything. I always do plan my cards out ahead of time and kind of lay out what I will be using, but when there's only one die cut of the leaves or one die cut of the flowers, that makes it a little bit tricky, and I have to just kind of guesstimate how much of everything I'm going to need. And so I was just hoping that I would have enough to finish this card without having to die cut any extra bits. So I'm just finishing up that bottom guava flower on top of the V, and I ended up swapping out one of the leaves at the top because I only had dark green leaves left and I still have one flower to go, so I wanted to be able to have, you know, both colors of leaves for that one. So that pink flower I'm going to add right in the center where there was kind of a little hole between the letters. That covered that up nicely. I did add a little bit of extra glue, not just to the center of the back of the flower, but also coming out around the edges to make sure that it would grip on the letters and the heart. And then I just tucked those last three leaves underneath that, so we have a nice little pop of green in the center as well. I decided not to add any glitter to this card. I know, shocker, but I did want to add a little extra embellishment. So I am going to take some of the hearts from the Strawberry Valentine mix. I'm going to do one red, one pink, and one white. And I will glue those to the center of each of the flowers that is sitting up on top of the shaker mechanism. I'm not placing it in the very center of each of those flowers. I'm kind of going somewhere on the outer edge of that inner stitching detail because I was afraid that it would look too much like a tic-tac-toe board if I made it exactly the same on each of those flowers, since they are kind of three in a row. So just to kind of make the line a little less straight visually, I kind of switched up where in that center I added each of those little hearts. And I just used the tip of my reverse tweezers to clean up any excess glue around that last heart. And that is going to finish this one off. So I'm going to lift that up so you can see it in a little bit closer detail and give that a shake so you can see that material in action. I'll also give you another peek at the inside. This card is a part of an Instagram hop celebrating Pretty Pink Posh's new Valentine release, and there are going to be more giveaways, so you may want to check that out. And if you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell if you want to be alerted when I post new videos. All of the products I use will be listed and linked in the description bar below in case you'd like to pick up anything for yourself. And if you'd like to keep watching, here is day 4 of the previous 2 years of Valentine Card Series. You can click on either one to check them out. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye-bye.